Hi, on behalf of Dr. McCall and the College and Career Readiness team, welcome to Parent Leadership Series, College Knowledge Awareness. I'm Sue Fowler, College and Career Coordinator here at West Aurora High School. And with me today is Ryan Gapbutton, Counselor of Tradition House and our Scholarship Coordinator.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sue. It's an exciting time as we move into our fifth series, video series with the College Knowledge video series that we have for our parents. This time we have interviewed a set of students, alums, if you will, from various colleges that had attended West Aurora High School, graduated, and now they're going through either their first, second, or third year. And Sue, what an exciting and odd time to be in college in general, right? I mean, do you remember your first year of college, Sue?
Now, granted, it was a long time ago, but yes, I do remember. In particular, that first year and all the transitions and being away from home for the first time, experiencing a little homesickness. So yes, I very vividly remember.
Yeah, it's very unique. So no matter what, I know that a first year, second year, whatever it might be, it's such a unique time because now they're on their own and they have to learn a lot of things independently that they've never needed to do. So it's a great growth experience, but also a nerve-wracking one. And those of you who are watching who are parents, just like me, who has two of my own in college right now, it is nerve-wracking. It's a different style of parenting as well. But I think would you say this to be true, Sue, as you have two of your own going to college as well? Like, the more we know, the better it is for us to handle that new circumstance, right?
No, absolutely. But speaking of transitions, it's a transition for the entire family.
Yes, absolutely. It is. It's very good. It's a good transition because we're seeing our kids grow into adulthood. We're seeing all the culmination of everything we've done since their, kindergarten years all the way up to when they graduated high school. Very, very exciting time, even though it is kind of nerve-wracking. But we hope that the answers to some of the questions we asked of our students will help you as a parent, and even you, if you're watching as a student, prepare for that next step after you graduate high school. So with no further ado, Sue, why don't we just get started and let them answer some of these questions that we had for them about their very first year in college.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Bianya Nueva. I am a West Aurora graduate, class of 2020. I am currently living and going to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and I'm a Spanish major.
Hello, my name is Christian Walls, and I am a junior here at Eastern Illinois University. I graduated West Aurora High School in 2018, and I am from Aurora, Illinois.
Hi, my name is Kara Coakley. I recently graduated from West Aurora. I'm in my third year of college, and I'm just going to talk about my background, what I've been up to, some things I learned, and some general pieces of advice that I've learned along the way.
Hello, West High seniors and parents. My name is Shay Roney, and I will be talking today about college. A little bit about me. I've lived in Aurora all my life. I graduated West High in 2019, and I'm currently at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I'm studying communications with a certificate in digital media.
Hi everyone, my name is Fabi Basnet. I graduated from high school in year 2019. I'm currently attending Northern Illinois University, and this is my second year.
What factored in your decision to attend the University of Illinois?
What factored into my decision was a couple things. First of all, I have a few cousins who go here, and I have visited a few times, and I honestly just fell in love with the campus, and I wanted to experience it for myself. I also love how it's a far enough away from home where I could still drive back, say for the weekend, and then come back. I honestly think it's a good school to go to.
What factored my decision to attend Eastern was that my sister graduated from here when I graduated from West Aurora High School. So I was like, ooh, I like Eastern, so I'm going to go there. Also, my uncle went there back in the day. And also, just Eastern is an amazing campus. It's small enough to remember people and to see familiar faces in the quad, and it's still big enough to have the big campus feel. And that's why I chose to come here.
I decided to go to NIU because I got full ride scholarship from Give Something Back, and that is a big deal for me because without them, I couldn't really afford to go to NIU. I'm majoring in marketing, minoring in professional selling. I've been living on campus since my freshman year.
One challenge that I had to get used to that was significantly different from high school was the class sizes. Lecture halls could hold up to 300 students, and at first you might find this incredibly daunting and, quite frankly, very impersonal. You may think, like, what if I have a question and I don't want to stand up and raise my hand in front of 300 other students? And that is completely understandable. This is also nothing to worry about. Professors understand this, and they set aside what they call office hours, which is just personal one-on-one time where you can go in, communicate with them your worries and your questions, and they'll do their best to help you out. Another challenge that I had to get used to was maneuvering around the course websites. Because class sizes are so large, majority of your assignments are going to be found on a class website. And at first, it's kind of hard to maneuver and figure out where everything is. But the further you go along in the semester, the easier it gets and the more you understand where things are. And you just got to give it time, be patient with yourself, and everything will click eventually.
The most difficult semester for me was the first semester of freshman year because I had never stayed away from my family, and getting used to that was really difficult. But I had a great roommate, so that process was a little bit easier because of her.
Talk about adjusting/challenges to being away from home and how you dealt with these challenges like homesickness.
I really missed home when I first moved here, since I am, first generation, the first one to leave the house. It was hard for all of us, for my family and I, but I visit a lot, I FaceTime my family a lot, and you just have to keep in touch with them, but you start getting used to it. So.
There is nothing wrong with being homesick in college. I myself find myself being homesick more often than not. And the beauty about college these days is the vast majority of mediated communication sources that we have at our fingertips that we can use whenever. You have FaceTime, text, call, anything you can use to touch a button to get in contact with somebody who's not in close geographical distance as you. That's extremely nice. I personally like mailing out letters. That seems very personal, and it's actually very exciting to get mail. My freshman year, I lived in a dorm, and I had a roommate that I enjoyed very much. I decided to go the random roommate route. I thought that would be less pressure than trying to find, the perfect roommate. But it was rocky at first, and so goes every relationship that you're forced into in a very tight area. But the longer you live together and the more you start to understand them as a person and their specific habits, the more you tend to grow on each other. Both my roommate, we were very considerate of each other's wants and needs, especially living in very close quarters. And even though we were completely different, we were able to get along. And so my biggest tip for roommates is to be just as open-minded as you possibly can, because even though we had different friend groups and different interests, we were still able to get along and coexist and actually leave as really good friends.
Talk about some of the academic challenges of your first semester of college and adjusting to life as a college student. How is college different from high school?
Well, first semester it was hard because I was still living at home. It was harder because it was different from high school. It was all online classes, so you really had to have good time management and organize your day with your other responsibilities. For example, I worked when I was still at home, and I had my like household duties that I had to do. So honestly, you just had to learn how to do everything and figure out your routine. But once you set your routine, you're fine.
I got lost a lot the first week of college, but I learned to use Google Map. So I basically used Google Map anywhere that I went to. And I also had to learn how to study, because in high school I used to just memorize and do the exam and then just forget about it after the exam. But in college I actually had to learn to study, not just to memorize, but to actually understand, because if I just memorize, then I wouldn't really do good on the exam. So I had to learn to study and learn to understand rather than just memorizing. And 2 of my classes were optional, but I still decided to go but I still decided to attend those classes because I knew that it would be easier for me to take the exam if I actually attended the classes.
Do you have a roommate, and do you have any advice, especially on choosing a roommate and learning how to coexist with a new person in a tiny dorm?
Yes, I do have a roommate. She is actually my best friend since middle school. You know, a lot of people told us that it might be a bad idea to room with someone that you already know, but we had no problems so far. It's been a fun time. I'm actually really glad that I roomed with her, because right now during the pandemic, we don't have any online classes, so it is harder to meet people. And having someone that you already know from, home, it keeps you, surrounded by people that you know, and you don't feel so lonely, because it can get lonely. But my advice would be, if you have a friend that you want to room with, go for it. All you need to do is communicate with them. Take the time to think about what they're going through, and give them their space when they need they need it. But other than that, you should be fine. You will learn to coexist with them. It's all about giving each other space, but communicating is definitely key. This is our dorm. Here is my side. This is my closet, my bed. This is my favorite artist. And then I have pictures of my family and friends. I have my calendar. That's just something my little sister drew. Just some bath essentials right there. My desk area, air conditioner. This is our little kitchen, fridge, microwave. We have some coffee right here. This is my roommate's side, her desk, her bed, and some decorations in her closet.
College academics during a pandemic were different, very different. I found this extremely frustrating because in my field I use a lot of hands-on projects with larger groups. So that was all taken away. So I may not have felt like I got out of it as much as I could. But although online classes are not ideal, I've learned that you get as much as you put in. So the more effort you put in and reach out to your professors if you're having problems, the more you actually get out of it. College during a pandemic, doesn't come out without its challenges. A few that I experienced during this semester, one being just staying connected with people. Because we were trying to be as safe as possible, my friends and I, we couldn't hang out in the way we wish we could hang out. And so that was a challenge. But also, somewhat a good challenge was that we had to come up with creative ways to hang out where we could still stay safe. Some of our favorites were picnics, hammocking, which is big in Wisconsin, or hanging out if somebody has a balcony. Another challenge that I experienced was just boredom. I've had my fair share of intense boredoms during this pandemic, but I've kind of taken advantage of this because of all my free time. I found many interests that I didn't know I had. So if you find yourself being bored, I push you to try something new. Another challenge was mental health. This is more of a serious issue that a lot of people struggle with during the pandemic. A few things that I found extremely beneficial. One would be just to develop a routine. If I had a routine that I was constantly working on, I would feel more productive and my brain and mind would feel more focused in. Another thing is just self-care. Talk to whoever you need to talk to, do whatever you need to do. I found it very helpful to go on walks, just get outside, get the blood flowing, clear your mind. That was extremely beneficial. And if you know someone who's suffering from mental health, just reach out, say, hi, how are you? And just let them know you're there.
I graduated in 2018, currently a grad student at the University of Illinois, and I'm majoring in agriculture and applied economics. However, I didn't go there right out of senior year. I attended University of Southern California for my first year and then transferred going into my sophomore year. Currently, I'm doing all my classes remote. And another thing about my college experience is I've had a job the whole way through. So something that has been that I've had to learn is managing, multiple schedules and keeping up with work and school. I chose USC coming out of my senior year. I applied to a lot of different places. Didn't necessarily get into all the ones that I was interested in. However, USC was somewhere that I was excited about. Didn't know everything about it. I was looking at a lot of different schools. It's really difficult without diving deep into a few schools that you're really interested in to know a lot about it before you go. So I knew it was somewhere far away. It was relatively exclusive as far as acceptance rate goes. I was different from a lot of other people, and I just generally had a good image of the school. So I thought it'd be the right fit for me. When I got there, I did enjoy the weather. I did enjoy the fact that everybody was really excited about the football teams, the sports teams. Those are all great. Food there was great. And I did generally like the campus environment, as well as my roommates that I was paired with. I was randomly paired up with a group of 7 other people in 4 rooms. But that was a really good experience. I was able to make friends with all of them. Downsides was I struggled to make strong connections based on the backgrounds of a lot of the people that I came across on campus. And, living in a city, going to a new place is very different than visiting. So having that experience of being there long term was a little bit different than my initial perceptions. And then knowing that I didn't want to live there long term kind of shaped my value for where I wanted to go, just because where your college is located is important to, what opportunities are going to present themselves. So ultimately, I transferred to the U of I. I had, some close relationships there. I saw myself living in Chicago more likely than LA. And then it was a pretty quick process, but it was really important for me to be very proactive. I had to make a lot of phone calls, take a lot of notes, get in contact with a bunch of different people, send a lot of emails. So, at that stage, there's not really anybody, holding your hand through any of that process. So I'd definitely say in the college environment, people, you kind of have to blaze your own path with those type of things. Then I moved into an apartment with another random roommate. I got along with them great. It was, however, once I got sent home from school with everybody else because of COVID, now I've been doing all my classes remote. And part of the reason why I've been able to get going on my master's so fast was the program available at U of I that I'm in, as well as taking classes at Wabanzi over the summers. It's a great resource. It can end up saving you a lot of money. Taking 1 or 2 classes. I was just working over the summers, so I did have time to squeeze those in. And I've had a really good experience with those.
Yes, college is really difficult, but there are lots of resources available on campus, so you can always go and ask for help. And there are days where you feel like giving up. Please do not. Keep going. You got this, and good luck to all of you.
Pieces of advice, I would say, don't worry about sunk costs, whatever is in the past. You really got to focus on what you got going forward. I went to a school that I realized I didn't want to go to anymore. So I had to make that move for myself to, enjoy my college experience going forward a lot more. And I'd also say that in college, teachers haven't been they've been really nice when you've had issues. When it's nice to me and understanding when I've had issues come up, but then again, they have a lot going on, a lot to manage. So I've had to learn to you know, interact with my professors, make sure to send follow-up emails and do all those kind of things, because there's a lot of people on their mind. There's a lot of people they have to deal with, and that's been true for advising, and it's helped me with my job search so far. And then my last piece is, at least in my circle of friends, it's a relative rarity to go exactly 4 years and 8 semesters. I'm going to be done early. A lot of my friends are going to take years off. All of those are fine. I mean, really, whatever timeline works for you is what's important. And it seems like it's getting rare. People are taking time off for different reasons. So I would definitely say that timeline is not necessarily as important.
What advice do you have for current students on surviving the first year?
My advice would be to get out there, to get to know people. It might be intimidating at first, but there's some really cool people that you can make connections with, and it's overall a fun time. Don't stress yourself out too much. Give yourself time to do your schoolwork, but also mental health is really important, and I think everyone should have a set time to have fun.
My one big advice is to be as open-minded as you possibly can when first entering college. Put yourself out there to meet new people, look for experiences that get you out of your comfort zone, take advantage of the opportunities that are handed to you. The more you're comfortable with experiencing new things, the more comfortable you're going to be with college in itself. College is a time for personal growth and discovery, so it's best to start right off the bat so you can make these the best years of your life. Good luck, parents. Good luck, seniors. Go enjoy the world.
Well, thank you very much for viewing the answers to some of our questions regarding our alums' first year of college. We hope that the information and insight that they provided you serves as a useful tip and tool for you and your student as you transition from here at West Aurora High School onto the next step in your post-secondary life. I know that we value and treasure our students, and as counselors, we always hope that these things would help give you that insight and wisdom on what to do next. And so, again, we thank you for viewing that. Now I'll turn it over to Ms. Fowler, as he has a few things to say in closing as well.
Thank you for joining us, and a huge shout out to our student alums who provided such great insights to success first year in college. Our next video in the series features West High alum, First Generation. First Gen College Conversations, the title is Successful College Students Ask for Help. So stay tuned next week. Thank you.
Thank you.